What's up, you guys? I'm out here in Mission Viejo. I got a call from Scott. They need to get their rental board repaired. It's got a big chunk taken out of it from a tree branch fell on it. And we're outside in the sun today, and I'm gonna show you guys step by step how to repair this kind of a gash, ding, whatever you want to call it, on your paddleboard. Okay, so I'm gonna use some 40 grit sandpaper. The trick here is to take out all your loose edges, all your loose pieces, and keep your edges all beveled and rounded. You don't want sharp edges and corners and things like that because it'll make weak spots in your filler. The filler is a mixture of 2-part epoxy resin combined with some microballoons to thicken it up. This mixture is real lightweight, it's very strong. Now the thing with this stuff is if you have a big area that you're filling with it, this stuff will heat up, and it heats up based on the amount of mass or volume that it has. So if it has a lot of volume, like you're filling in a big area with it, it's gonna get hotter than if you're filling in a smaller area. So if you're kind of questioning whether or not the area is too big to fill in one shot, then go ahead and do it in 2 shots, because it's not worth it to melt that piece of foam where the filler is, because then you're going to have a way worse repair to deal with than if you would have just taken your time and done it in 2 shots. Alright, once that's all cured, sand it, cut out your cloth. When it comes to cutting out cloth, give yourself about 1 inch of overlap over your filler and stick with rounded shapes. Squarey shapes just gives you a bunch of crap and corners that you have to sand down until it's rounded shape. So just start off with a rounded shape to begin with, and you'll be much better off when it comes to sanding. Okay, the trick to laminating this is this. Do your first coat, laminate your cloth, and then babysit the resin. Wait till it gets sticky. When it's sticky, then you're ready to do the second coat. If you wait till it's too dry, then it's not going to adhere right. And if it's too wet, then it's just going to soak in. Now you take 60 grit sandpaper, once that's cured real good, and then flatten it all out, take out all your lumps, and get it ready for your hot coat. For your hot coat, I recommend using UV laminating resin, and then you take that laminating resin and turn it into sanding resin by mixing in some waxing agent, also known as surfacing agent. Spread it on there. It doesn't need to be too thick. You don't want it to be thick on the edges because then that makes it a real pain in the ass to sand. So try to keep it thinner on the edges. When that's cured, you want to get 60 grit sandpaper and then work your way up to a 220. So I usually use a 60 and then go to a 150 and then I go to a 220. And each time I switch the paper, my sanded ring gets bigger and bigger. And this is important because you're getting the surface area prepared for painting, and you want to give yourself plenty of room to cover the overspray. Alright, now it's all ready for paint. I recommend using a good quality spray paint. Use a matte finish and match the color. The color's not going to be perfect, but for the cost, this is the best way to match the color on these things. You don't want to spend, nobody wants to spend $300 to get the color just perfect on their paddleboard ding. It's just not worth it. This way you can still do a good quality color match for relatively inexpensive. Okay, once you got that area all painted, go ahead and get some clear coat. I recommend using Rust-Oleum. Get a gloss coat and do a couple layers, maybe 2 or 3 coats, and let that cure really good. And then once that's dry, now it's time to wet sand it. Use like a 320, maybe a 400 grit wet sandpaper, and then sand it all down. Get it nice and flat, nice and smooth. You want the edges to just blend in with the rest of the board. And then once you've sanded everything nice and flat, and you can feel that there's no resistance on the sandpaper, go ahead and spread your polishing compound on there, get your buffing pad, and buff it out. Now you want to keep the buffer moving. You don't want it sitting in one spot because it'll get real hot and you'll melt through your clear coat and it'll look like shit. And you're going to have to start all over again. And then the repair is finished. It looks good, it's going to last, For the price, this method cannot be beat. I hope some of you guys found this video useful and it helps you out with your repairs. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.